When the white man first met the Nisga's, he found a well-organized, class-structured society. They were tough businessmen and shrewd traders. For centuries, they supplied ulacan grease and animal furs to other tribes along the Pacific coast in exchange for metals and other goods. When the first missionaries arrived, they were respected and tolerated because they believed, as the Indians did, that there was one God who provided all. But the church confused the totem pole, which was the Indians' way of identifying ownership of the land, with a heathen symbol to be worshipped. They cut the totem poles down and unknowingly destroyed the only written history of a people. Today, the Nisga's are trying to resurrect that history before it is lost completely. They're raising a totem pole, their first in over 100 years. Eli Gosnell is an hereditary chieftain of the Nisga's and their master carver.
They call it God-given tree, the God-given tree. Which I know that was God indeed gave the tree to our people, for our safety, for our healing, for our health, for our clothing. We use this wood for housing. We use this wood for making baskets. We use this wood for making medicine. And it will save millions of our people. And that is why they call it God-given tree. They call it God-given tree.
Although the missionaries were responsible for the destruction of many of these poles, they were the first to understand what their well-intentioned actions were doing to the Indian culture. They abhorred some of the native customs which they regarded as primitive, cruel, and barbaric. But in their attempts to bring salvation to a lost people, they began to dismantle the foundations of a civilization which had existed for thousands of years. At the same time that the white man was denying the Indian his traditions, he gradually began to take his land. What the Indians thought they were sharing with the white settlers, they quickly learned had been stolen from them. The Nisga's were among the first tribes to realize what was happening to them. The century-long struggle had begun.
What we want to see is a gradual development where people, and especially our people, participate in that development. We want to be part and parcel of any development in this land. At the moment, we are just spectators.
It is not simply a return of the land that the Nisga's are struggling for. They're asking for some control over their own development and future as a people. It is a struggle for self-determination. The Nisga's want their children to grow up as Nisga's and not as white Indians. It is important to them that their children and their children's children understand their history, their culture, and their language. They want the Nisga'a race to survive. Some time ago, the Nisga's began to notice their language fall into disuse among the young. Children had to leave their people and travel to the city for a basic education. The culture shock was too much of a strain for most of them, and 90% dropped out of school before graduation. So the Nisga's took up another fight. They demanded, and won, the right to control the education of their children. Nisga'a School District 92 was the first Indian school district in Canada when it came into being on January 1st, 1975.
They said that high schools or education was in the bright lights of British Columbia. You come to the bright lights. This is where education is. And we said, no, we can bring education home rather than export our children in all the schools throughout the province. We said we will import the school and educate our children right here in this valley.
These kindergarten children are learning their own language, an opportunity most of their parents never had. During their classes in Nisga'a, no English is spoken.
O sim agit mi'i huksaan lle haigwen Lord wilt Jesus Christ mina dimkan wilt. Amen.
By the time these children graduate, they will be fluent in their mother tongue. The program has been a success. In under 2 years, the Nishkas have seen their failure rate drop from 90% to 35%. It means that these students might one day be the first Nishka doctors and lawyers, professional people, to carry on the struggle. But it also means that the Nishkas have won an important battle in the fight for the survival of their culture. To the elders of this tribe, it means there is a chance the Nishka race will survive. It is a landmark in the history of the Nishka people. The Unity Totem Pole is symbolic of their long struggle.
Pull in the middle there.
What? I got it! Oh my God!
As far to the road as you can. Yep.
Somebody's got to watch this. Front.
Okay, swing. Swing.
The Unity Pole is being moved according to ancient tradition. 80 braves from New Ianch and other Nishka settlements will carry this pole a quarter mile uphill to its permanent location at the school.
Hey. Before we turn, yeah. Before we turn, just keep on going.
Put your arms up in the air. Get one, sit, horse up.
Titus Nisga'a is 87, a chieftain and the oldest member of the Nishka tribe. He is the only man alive who knows the words of the lament that he'll sing here today, a lament that records the history of his people on this land.
Why, some got credit, some got them, some listens.
The honor of the final push is accorded to the chieftains of the tribe, who have led their people this far.
Some got them samsa, some got them kitsa, some got them dastan. Allah. It's real frustrating for any group of people when you know that your culture is going out the window and never ever to come back. So it's up to us to struggle to maintain that culture, and this is exactly what we aim to do, to maintain our identity, our culture, and our language. As far as we're concerned, to this time, it's been over 100 years now. Now, I don't know whether we're going to wait another 100 years. We have to be concerned about the future welfare of our people. Now, I'm talking about people that is yet to be born. What is going to be left for them in the next 100 years?